Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode. I think by now everybody already knows that China's internet is like a lagoon, separated from the international one. So the things we use here are very different from the international ones. And it can be a lot of trouble if you come here without already having these things at hand. Okay, so this episode I'm going to talk about the essential apps you need if you want to survive here. So first, payment. Digital payment is already everywhere here. Basically, people either use WeChat Pay or Alipay. Even if you go to some very remote rural areas, you can still use WeChat or Alipay. And usually they are the preferred methods. So you need these two. Actually, as long as one works for you, you don't need the other. But sometimes things can get funny when you have a foreign bank account or something. So just in case, have them both. Paying with an actual credit card is not common here. Many stores, restaurants or places don't support that, and it's even harder if you have a foreign credit card. Actually, I basically pay for anything with my credit card, but I do that through Alipay. They also have their own credit card-like functions. For example, in Alipay, it's called Huabei. Anyways, you need these two. And it's better to download them and do all the settings before you come here, like link your bank account or your credit card and see if there is any problem. And then after you come here, it's a good idea to have some cash in hand. I mean, RMB, not your original currency, because I've heard that these two sometimes get naughty when you are using a foreign bank account or foreign credit card, especially when you first got here. So prepare some cash just in case. And the cash are still functional here. There used to be a period when the stores refused to take cash because digital payment is so convenient. But later the government got in and got these things regulated because there are still many old people who don't know how to use smartphones. They cannot use WeChat, they cannot use Alipay, so they have to pay in cash. Now the government wants to ensure that everybody can pay in cash. So your cash will be functional. I mean, the chain brands and the malls will definitely not refuse your cash. But if you go to some private vendors or some very small stores, sometimes cash may not work because they may not have cash at hand for the changes. Okay, second, navigation. Google Map doesn't work here. If you want to navigate here, you need either Gaode Map, Apple Map. If you understand Chinese, I think the best option is Gaode Map. It's called A-Map in English. In my opinion, this one is the most reliable in China. At this moment, I see that they say they are launching interfaces in different languages, but right now at this moment, it's still not available. And no matter which one you use, you need to be at least able to read Pinyin, because the pronunciation can be very different from English. Sometimes you need to ask people for direction, and some of them may not speak English, so you need the right pronunciation for them to understand. And I already have a video teaching how to read Chinese Pinyin. You can check that one. Okay, then for the rankings. For the rankings, we use 大众点评. In English, it's called 点评. Basically, it's Yelp plus TripAdvisor plus more, and people actually use it heavily. Nowadays, whenever people in China want to check or search restaurants, attractions, or things like that, we use 大众点评. You can check all the meals, all the set meals, all the items, and their rankings and their photos before you go to a restaurant. It saves a lot of time. And the trick is not to trust the good reviews too much because a lot of them are paid for. But bad reviews are actually good. They are usually very authentic and very detailed. Okay, then food delivery. So the most used food delivery apps here are Ele.me and Meituan. Basically, every restaurant is on them, so basically you can get any dish you want without leaving your home, and the dish will be here within half an hour. And besides the food, you can also order things like medicine on them. For example, whenever I find out that I need things like antibiotics or painkillers in my place, I order them on Ele.me. And then the medicine will be here within half an hour. You can order phone chargers too. And you don't really need to download them because they have built-in mini programs on WeChat and Alipay. So you can access them from there. Okay, then shopping. Nowadays, people in China almost buy everything and anything online. You can buy all kinds of niche products and they will be here within like 2 days. So the most used apps for online shopping are Taobao, Jingdong, and Pinduoduo. I personally use Taobao to buy anything, but there are people saying that Jingdong is better if you want to buy if you want to buy electric devices. And the experience may vary depending on where you live or what kinds of products you usually buy. So it's better to download all of them and try it yourself and then see which one is best for you. Okay, then transportation. If it's just for buses or metro, you just need your Alipay or your WeChat Pay. You scan the code and then that's it. It's the same case for shared bikes. But if you want Uber-like experience, we use Didi here. Again, you don't need to download it separately because it has built-in mini program on WeChat and Alipay. Then, if it's long-distance traveling, I recommend 高铁管家. You can buy train tickets, plane tickets on it, and you can book hotels on it. And again, it has built-in mini program on WeChat and Alipay, so you don't need to download it. Okay, then renting. Renting is also very digitalized here. The traditional offline agencies still exist, you can still use them, but the online version is much more convenient. And now the most used apps are Ziru and Beike Zufang. Ziru, the English version is either called Ziru or Z-Room, you can search both. I personally use Ziru to rent places because their style and things are much more consistent. They renovate the apartments in some consistent styles once they get the apartment. So as a renter, there is less surprise or disappointment. And to get things like furniture and Wi-Fi and stuff all sorted out for you, so you don't need to worry about them yourself. And they use digital password locks, and you can manage the password on your app. It's very convenient. And you pay the rent and the utility bills on the app. It really saves you a lot of trouble. And the prices on such platforms are fixed. You don't need to negotiate prices like in offline agencies. Okay, then working out. If you, like me, need gyms, the most used chain brand gyms here now is Leke. This is what I use. They are those kind of chain brand light gyms. They don't have swimming pools, they don't have their own toilets, they don't have shower rooms, so you need to use the toilets in the mall. But they are cheap and reliable. If you just need those machines and group classes that a normal gym has, they have it. They have numerous stores in Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities, and they are opening numerous stores in the lower tier cities. So basically, wherever you go in China, you can find some Leke. Wherever you live, you can find some Leke near you. And once you have an account on their app, once you pay your fees, you can go to any of these stores. They don't limit you to a few selected ones. And you can pay them month by month. So even if you are just here for a short time, you can use them. And they operate 24 hours a day, and because here usually is very safe, so you can actually go to there at like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. But the tricky part is that most malls don't operate 24 hours, so you need to ask the staff how to get in the gym in those hours. Okay, finally, the most important part, VPNs. If you still want to get in touch with the outside world, you need the VPNs here. And many VPNs work outside of China, don't work here. The most consistent ones I have been using are Let's VPN and VE+. I mean, at any given moment, I only use one of them, but I always have these two at hand in case one gets funny. Okay, that is today's video. Thank you for watching this far. If you like this video, if you like what I'm doing, please leave a like and subscribe. I mostly talk about Mandarin, but sometimes share some fun facts about China. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.